Boku no Hero went to a very dark place this week. Really dark with Overhaul and his daughter. And all I have to say is that if this is what Horikoshi's capable of when he's not feeling well, imagine what we're going to get when he starts to feel better again. Deku's sense of justice in this particular situation is why this is going to be a very dark and a very tense arc, and I became interested right away in knowing how he will react when he gets to the real world, or when he gets into a situation where he's going to have to be undercover, but see the type of things that's going on in this dark, seedy underground and how you react to it. And you can feel the pain. He wanted so bad to help this little girl Eri when she was in danger and was frightened, and hearing the age-old cover-up from Overhaul by saying, oh, she got those bandages on, she just fell, she's okay. You know, that's like bullshit. So you can see where Deku's coming from, knowing that this kid is being abused in some type of way, and she was just straight up frightened and didn't want him to leave. But at the same time, he is not ready to fight Overhaul. He's not. He's nowhere near it. I don't even think Mirio's able to fight Overhaul from what we've seen right now. We don't know the extent of this guy's power, so it probably was the best thing for him to pull out, but something like that is going to tear Deku inside, because he's going through this conflict with himself as it's going on by saying a hero is supposed to protect people in these type of situations. He can't understand why Mirio isn't helping him, but at the same time, he would have got wrecked if he would have come to blows with Overhaul, and we definitely didn't want to see that. So it's like both of these guys are right, because Mirio was right to pull him aside and say, look, this isn't our business, we don't need to get in this, most importantly, we don't need to blow our cover. But at the same time, Deku was right. You mean, if you see somebody in need, you're supposed to help them as a hero. That's what they're there for. Again, we're diving into that darkness of the series that is capable of, that Horikoshi tends to dive into every now and then, that I'm absolutely loving. I mean, ever since this arc started, I'm getting kind of a Chapter Black from Yu Yu Hakusho, or a York New City type of darkness coming from this series, and it's so refreshing when you're in the world of shonen. It's like stuff like this and what's going on with Promised Neverland is always good for business, because it can't always be shiny and happy, especially when you take the realistic aspects of things that's going on, or the unfortunate issue like this with child abuse. And the fact that this series is going there just speaks volumes for the type of attention that this can get, as being a very deep and a very compelling series. I mean, even to the fact where Eri saw that as soon as Overhaul grabbed his hand and she ran to him, and all of a sudden the act was up because she didn't want anybody else to get hurt. She knew that when he put his arm on his hand or whatever he was about to do, shit was gonna hit the fan. And when you're in that type of situation, you see things as it being your fault. She admitted guilt, like he was like, are you done with your tantrum now? And she just kind of smiled and shook her head, and that shows how broken she is as a character. But at the same time, she's saving everybody else from this wrath, because when you're in that type of situation, you would do anything, you would say anything not to entice the abuser's evil intentions or the abuser's wrath, and she just did that. And she could have very well saved Deku and Mirio from what Overhaul can do, because we've seen what this man's ability is capable of, or at least to some extent. Both of them probably would have got exploded. And again, to see that this child is in danger and can't do anything about it, as a hero that has to tear you apart, but you got to be smart about it too. And that's what I liked, both sides of the situation. I like that Deku wanted to be the hero, but at the same time, Mirio was like, no. And even Eri, to the point where she was in straight up fear, but she knew that things would be even worse for her if she didn't listen to this guy and come on right now. And again, that shows the complexity of the characters in Boku no Hero, setting it a step above the rest. And let's talk about the characters for a minute. How about Mirio with the name Lumillion? I absolutely love the name. I love the character. Mirio with the hope to save 1 million people at some point in his career. He really is a shining hope and the next in line for All Might. I have admitted many times, I think he really should be the successor. Of course, you still got a chant for Deku, and he was out showing Deku the ropes, and that's how they ran into Overhaul when they noticed this little girl Eri ran to them crying and in fear. And then he was like, it's okay, this is my daughter, she's just playing around, let's go now. But also something that was funny in this dark chapter was Mirio acknowledging that Deku's name means useless, and he was like, what, that's your name, really? Come on, dude, get serious here. But This also shows that Overhaul as a character could have layers to his character as well. I mean, that happy face he put on where he was just acting like a regular dude, like, oh, this is my daughter, everything is okay, to the fact that he possibly doesn't know that Deku knows who he is, but at the same time, the ability for him to be such a dark and sinister man, but to play it to the part where he knows he can't be a goon out there in the real world. He acts to act like a regular person. That shows that it's gonna be more than just a one dimension for this character. He may even have some type of traits that could redeem him later. Shades of a really good villain when you can see their side of things, even though what they're doing isn't exactly right. And also with Deku and Mirio having to take another side of the coin and not be the hero, they actually back out before things got bad. So clap it up again for Boku no Hero for taking things that deep. And good thing Mirio was there for Deku as well, because when he realized who it was he was facing, he was like, he came in and he put the mask on Deku really quick, like, put your mask on, what are you doing? Because he was about to shit bricks. He was really scared. He almost blew their cover once he realized that the man standing before him is possibly, or maybe he knew that this is the man that they were looking for, and he kind of had that nervousness like, oh shit, but at the same time he wanted to do something, and either one would have been a bad decision. So good thing Mirio was there, especially when he realized that Overhaul started asking him specific questions, or like, who are you working for? So you guys are rookies, huh? It was like, yeah, we need to get out of here now. This is supposed to be an infiltration mission. We can't jeopardize that. Let's go now. Overhaul also points out that he wears that mask because he's sensitive to dirt. So it gets my mind racing about how this affects his ability, or we may have just got an indication of a weakness, that if he has to wear a mask, is it sensitive to him just breathing, or maybe perhaps like his ability is dirt related, like maybe he can blow up dirt particles. And we know this guy's a savage and he doesn't like dirt at all, because when he went back to his base and he found out that one of his goons let Eri get away, he immediately touched this guy and blew up. But that was before they said, you know, you gotta take a bath around the boss because he doesn't like dirty people. So yeah, he looks like he got a little bit more to worry about now because you just blew a guy up and his body's all on the wall. But, you know, go ahead and clean that up because I don't like dirt around me. So I cannot wait to get into more detail about Overhaul and what he can do, because we know he's straight up on that Fist of the North Star game where if he touch you, you can explode. And we saw something like maybe he can negate abilities or you blow up or something, because we didn't get clear detail. It's just a lot of speculation of what he can do, but it seems like he can either take a limb off of you or he can just blow you up altogether. Either way, when this guy decides to cut loose, it's not going to be good news, but it has to have a weakness as well. And if something like dirt, like all you gotta do is throw dirt on this guy, that's gonna be a little bit crazy, but I don't think Horikoshi will make him that lame. I think he's gonna be really broken, and it might be something really complex that you're gonna need to take him out. But I'm sure in due time we will get to how dirt can affect him in any way or adversely, because I don't know, I just got a feeling that maybe once he takes the mask off, he will start to lose breath. I don't know, maybe he can blow up air particles. I mean, I really don't know, so I cannot wait to see where we're gonna get with this. And something's definitely going on with Eri, with her to have those bandages on. And also it looks like he has some type of cheer, so he has some type of big plans and he needs her for something, which could be, it might not be directly physical abuse that he's doing to her, but definitely what's going on, what he has planned. And that cheer is definitely more along the lines of the same thing, because he probably has to hurt her to do what he needs to do. And to make matters worse, it looks like Shigaraki has wised up and he wants to talk to Overhaul, because, you know, he did offer to give them structure because they're listening to All For One behind a gate. They need real structure if they're going to be real business. We see it, this guy is going to be a menace. He's scary as hell. He looks cool as hell. And that's not going to be good for the heroes as they're going into this dark arc. And this is definitely probably going to be the darkest arc in Boku no Hero, if not to date, probably of all. And, you know, as this series as a whole, we're waiting for someone to fall somewhere. I mean, we all thought All Might was going to die when he fought All For One, and that didn't happen. He lost his powers. But I think I just got this feeling that we're going to lose someone on the battlefield in this series, and it might be here, because Overhaul has been leaving bodies and blood everywhere he's gone. So if a hero tries to get in his way, that might be their final end. I don't think it's going to be any other kids, but it will definitely probably be one of like the bigger heroes or something that's going to try to stop him, and everybody's going to see how serious this guy is. And when he aligns himself with Shigaraki, yeah, things are not going to go well. So, Boku no Hero once again giving us that A1. I hope Horikoshi gets back to his self. Get well soon. I wouldn't mind if he took like a month off. As long as he comes back, you know the joke. As long as he doesn't pull a Togashi and goes away for years. If he can keep spinning fire like this and this man is sick, the possibilities is only going to go up for this chapter. So let me know what you guys thought of this chapter. How do you feel about Overhaul? Do you still think that he is a good character? Do you feel differently about him, knowing what's going on with him and his daughter? Are you just excited as I am? Do you think Deku did the right thing? Do you think Mirio was right? Let me know what you thought of this chapter overall in the comments below. If you like this video, go ahead and drop it a like. And if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as there's not a shortage of content you indulge on this channel. And as I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me. I really appreciate that, so thanks for stopping by. On that note, it's your boy Scott signing out. See you soon.